How are we starting?
I'll say, hey, Don. And you'll say,
Hey, Jake.
boo! I should have waited. Hey, it's spooky season. It's spooky season.
It is.
It's spooky season.
Spooky.
So, today we're going to discuss some spooky Halloween, not necessarily Halloween-related photos, but how we got the shot, spooky photos.
Yes. I'm disappointed in us because we did not dress for the occasion.
We're very busy. I don't have time.
At least we're here.
Yeah, I'm dressed as a mediocre photographer. Poor mediocre photographer, so I'm nailing it. I don't know about you.
Perfection.
Yeah. So again, it doesn't have to necessarily be Halloween, but things we thought were spooky.
Yeah.
Spooky.
Do you want to go first?
Sure. Do you want me to pull it up again just so you can show you? Because I already
Yes.
forgot what it was. So I chose one here, and it is not your traditional, like, this was at Disney World, and it's not your traditional, oh my God, why did I have it pulled up? I literally had it pulled up, and now it's not there.
And now it's gone.
So this is actually, as you can see, was in Pandora. So I made it look spooky, but it is actually not, it's not Tower of Terror, it's not Haunted Mansion.
Right.
But, as you can see, what I like about this one is Pandora is kind of already a spooky place, though.
It's like mystical.
Mystical. Lots of
Right?
sounds, lots of sights, lots of colors, which you can see here in the photo. Maybe. What I like about this, though, is, and this is the best part of this whole story, is this was actually shot during COVID when nothing was turned on.
So you would come in the mornings for the portrait session, but the technicians weren't in yet to turn. Well,
They weren't
they
even.
weren't. I guess.
Stuff just got turned off.
Right.
When
All of the
everyone was
show
furloughed.
lighting.
Yeah, because they were like, why are we going to run this? And then they furloughed a lot of cast members. Or just either those people either ended up quitting or actually permanently being fired. And when we came back, a lot of places just weren't turned on. And they didn't even know how to, the ones that were there didn't even know how to turn them on. And we saw this a lot when going into Pandora, when we'd get in there and it was pitch dark. Not a single light was turned on except for some walkway lights. So what's crazy about this photo is everything you see there is done with my lighting. There is not a single light from Pandora that is on.
Just the tiny little lamps. That's it.
Yeah, just the headlight. And that's why I put them over there, because I thought that'd be cool to light them. But I ended up not even being able to see it because I had to add so many flashes. There is, if I remember correctly, somewhere between 5 to 6 flashes here.
Oh my gosh, how did you even have that many with you?
Because I knew we'd already been kind of burned one time. So going into it on the next one, I was like, okay, I'm taking my stuff, Disney stuff, everything I could.
That's fair because even I did a Animal Kingdom session last year, and same thing happened to us. We were there. It was like an early open day, so we were there a little earlier than usual. And luckily, it was an Animal Kingdom cast member. So when we got back there, he's like, "It's kind of dark," and I was like, "Yeah, it's fine. Everything's fine." As I'm trying to light up the entire floating mountain.
So I had this idea. I put them here too, one because of that light above them, but then I really liked this flower you see to the camera right, because it really is a creepy looking flower.
It very much it's like Stranger Things vibes.
So I have 2 different lights pointed all the way back to the mountains back there, which still barely lit them up, as you can see.
And I'm sure they were at full power.
Full power. And then I have specific lights just on the flower to the right. I have a light coming from camera right, lighting them to get the dress. And then I have a fill camera left as well, hitting this part of the dress. So basically you have some blues and then purples in the back, or blurple, so a blue-purple mix. Over here on this side, you can see I then took a green that kind of washed this way, because it's still Pandora and it's not just blue and purples. There is a lot of green. And also, I'm just trying to remember. I think I even Googled, like, real quickly, like, what did Pandora look like? It's been a while.
What is it supposed to look like?
Yeah.
Right.
And then, even with all this said, it's still like a a second-long exposure
Oh my God.
because it was, again, pitch black. I cannot stress this enough.
It's
Pitch
true.
black. I even need a flashlight. I brought in a flashlight too for if you've ever done this trick where it's pitch black to focus on them. Lock your focus, which is basically just putting it in manual. Like get the focus, put it in manual, take the flashlight away, and then hold the real still. The only thing it's missing, I wish I had some fog or something. I think a fog would have looked really cool.
If it was like a little bit of a misty morning, especially with all the flashes you had thrown around, the moisture in the air would have picked it up.
But we did a whole series of them together looking, but there's something about them just kind of staring off. They're looking at each other, but it seems like they're nervous. They're in this creepy, and I do actually ended up liking the way that this is very prominent, this is prominent, and then it slowly gets darker and darker. You know there's stuff back there, but it's super creepy. And then this creates this nice little frame around them, just like that.
I really like the flower or whatever it is.
Who knows what it is? That was one of the things, though, too. When I put them there, I had all the lights, and it took a long time, but I'm also trying to go fast. And that's why I kind of settled on the back. Okay, that's what it is. But I wanted that flower shown real bad. So it took a little bit of finagling to get that right on the flower and not hit them anymore because I had light coming this way. I mean, again, I had 5, maybe 6 lights. No, I had 6 because it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So again, to put that in there, there is one behind them because there's a little bit of a silhouette. There is one coming camera right, which is the main light, which is hitting her. And then the fill, which is purple this way, a light specifically for that flower, and then 2
on the floating mountain.
on the floating mountains, which still did nothing.
I wish we could bring people with us so that they understand like what it's. Okay, so you've got these wedding photographers, right, that do like all of these amazing photos. But then turn off all the lights.
Yeah.
and it's not just that you have to create the light of everything. It's that you have to do it all in the dark. You have to find the spot to go to in the dark.
And you have an hour.
And
this is not the only photo you're doing.
And this is not even the only location you're going to.
Yeah.
The only like land you're going to.
Correct.
Like that always, it just sometimes hits me when I'm doing like a Magic Kingdom session or whatever, when you get, if you're like in the hub at Magic Kingdom and all the lights are off still and the castle's not on, like you're literally, but it's not even just that you have to now create a photo out of nothing. You're doing it all in the dark. You're fumbling around with all of your supplies in the dark. You're trying to keep track of things. Like, it's just this extra layer that, like, think of what we could do if we didn't have to do it in the dark.
But then the fact that we keep pulling it off.
I know.
You're just like, we're amazing. I would have done in future, but again, timing-wise, is if you know this part of Pandora, you're looking, the Flight of Passage ride is directly to your right. The floating mountain with the waterfall that's closest is to the left. So it's in between there. There's that bridge right there that is part of the queue that the waterfall goes under. I probably would have, in a perfect world, I would have put a light up on that bridge to pop the mountains a little bit more. But again, we're talking about time, and you're like, do you know how long it gets to that bridge? You wind up, even though I had an assist, that's still time that didn't really have.
Yeah.
Plus, I still did 9 other shots just in Pandora that required relighting the entire thing. Like, I have some previous ones where, again, this is actually the same couple right here. And I'll put this in there. Same idea, so now the sun is coming up, but it's still not lit. So everything you see there is lit still by me. Because that photo, while the sky's starting to look good, they just look like dark blobs. Yeah, Pandora is very fun to shoot, but it's really not.
I will be very honest. I don't enjoy it because I just personally don't do well in the dark in general. And I can't even remember the last time I shot in there where you had all of the show lighting on.
Yeah, even during, like, I shot actual weddings in there. That was just a portrait system. Gross. But actual weddings. And I had to light the entire thing myself.
Yeah. I have a wedding coming up overnight at Animal Kingdom. So I'm sure the Tree of Light will be lit.
They've gotten better with the Tree of Life, but There's another one right there.
Actually, you know what? I don't even know if it's Tree of Life or if it's Pandora, where we're shooting. But I'm sure the couple is going to want to go elsewhere, and then we're going to get into, like, question mark.
A lot of times, weddings has been lighting kind of the stuff, not the actual show lighting in Pandora. They've been relighting their own to, like, help. But it doesn't help because those lights are powerful enough for the human eye, but not powerful enough for a camera when they're actually walking down the aisle.
Right. And
I can't shoot 30th of a second
Yeah.
as they're walking down the aisle.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
what spookiness you got?
Okay, so I don't have quite the depth of catalog of spooky photos as Jacob does.
That's true. It took us a while to decide which one we were going to do.
So I just had a couple to pick from, but this is a photo. Ooh, my goodness.
Spooky. It's two.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so this is a photo where I basically made my couple look like they were ghosts.
You killed them.
Yeah, I just made them look like that.
Oh, okay.
So this was a fun shoot though anyway because the bride was in a teal colored dress. So even though this photo ended up in black and white, her dress was teal. So like it just made the whole session feel more fun and different. Like it didn't have to have the like classic bridal feel to it.
I like
we
that
could do,
sometimes,
you know, some alternative things. And the couple was a little non-traditional too. Like they liked more of the spooky stuff. So we ended up doing a lot at Haunted Mansion. But this is kind of one of the classic photos where we turn people into a ghost. And so there are a few steps that are very important that occasionally I forget and then I curse myself the entire time.
I'll just fix it in post.
No, there's no fixing. So the key to a photo like this is using a tripod.
Correct.
And basically you need to get a photo of your couple, but then you need to get a photo of that hallway empty. And ideally, you don't move your tripod in between.
And sometimes you do.
And sometimes you do, and then you get real mad because then you're doing a lot of like skew and transforming and stuff to get everything to line up again when you're done. But yeah, so normally when I do this, what I like to do is like get my tripod set the way I want it and do a few poses. And sometimes doing the poses leads me to change where I want the tripod. And so I tend to do my like back plate photo at the end once I've like really settled into what I want. Because if I do it at the beginning and then I end up adjusting something, then that shot is useless anyway.
It's usually pretty standard.
Yeah.
Especially when you get the lighting right and now you're into it, then you're like, all right.
So we did a number of different poses, but I really liked this one for the two of them, like her dress flaring out on the side, his leg coming out on the side, you know, centered in the hallway. It's kind of a traditional situation. There are these like lights overhead that are super bright. Super bright.
Well, they're not bright during when you go ride the ride.
Right.
They're very bright when the work lights are on.
Yes, when it's the work lights and not like the nice incandescent.
Because this is before the park opens, obviously.
Right. And so sometimes I kind of struggle with it because it's not... Mike was with me one time where he was my assistant and he had the bride stand right under the light and like look up at the light with her veil over her face. Perfection. Yeah. But any other time, it's kind of a nuisance. So I had them like backed up to just be catching a little bit of the light on them. And then I also popped a flash on them just to like get a little more clarity.
And it is a harsh light without a little bit of...
Yeah.
If you don't do it just right.
Right.
But sometimes you're in there, though, and the lights are off. This is the part we just talked about. Like, you don't know what you're going to get.
Exactly. So, you know, got this photo of them that I was happy with, and then had them tuck in. There's a little hallway. Had them tuck into the little hallway, and then took my base picture. And then once I get back to the office, what I have to do is take the base picture of the hallway and touch that up for any nuisance things. So... you can't see it in this photo, but behind them is like a fire alarm and some signs and...
There's a strobe firelight, and then below that is one of those break for, like, the pull, right? You break the glass to pull.
Yep. So clean all of that up on the background image because that's what's staying full opacity. And the couple was blocking those things where I had them posed. And then I bring in this layer, make sure the layers are lined up. and just lower the opacity on this one. And I've always kind of waffled between like how bright to have them, and sometimes like you lose the transparency effect if the back of the hallway is really dark. But if you light them, then their faces stand out a little better, and it's okay, but their legs are obviously transparent and ghosty. So
Yeah.
I kind of, every time I do this photo, I do it a little different, whether I light them, whether I don't, whether I like overexpose the base picture I'm taking to get more detail in the back of the hallway so that all of them looks more transparent. You know, I kind of just mix it up and play around.
It's part of the fun.
Yeah, it is. But that's basically it. It's really, it comes down to having that tripod. Now, have I needed to do this photo without a tripod? Yes. Have I pulled a trash can over and propped up my leg, like pulled the trash can over and then set my camera down? But of course the camera's going to tilt, right? So then I use a couple of gels or grids or something from Magmod to prop my lens so that my lens stays at roughly the same height.
Pretty cool stuff.
And then do the photo that way. Shoot it horizontal really wide so that I can crop it vertical later, because you have to have... I've tried doing it where like I just hold the camera up to my face and I'm like, okay, move, get out of the way, and try to shoot it. But it's when you like tilt a little bit that really screws you up.
I did one very similar to that once where... because the Haunted Mansion has the bride and the guy and like all the missing heads. I basically did that photo, but then I did one where I just took off his head. So it was them standing like this and he was headless. And Disney said said no.
Not acceptable.
And I'm like...
But it's part of the ride.
There literally is portraits of grooms with the bride in the attic with their heads...
It's
Whatever.
fine. It's
Whatever.
fine. So yeah, so that's my spooky photo.
Very spooky. I like it.
I'm not even going to try to scare you because I'll just scare myself, I think.
Exactly. You couldn't scare Jordan! Oh, we should have a warning for all the people listening. That's just going to blow out their eardrums.
Well, you've already done it 3 times, so.
Comedy's done in 3s, so I guess I'm done.
All right, moving right along.
What'd you shoot this week? Was it spooky?
It was not very spooky. I actually had a last-minute wedding pop-up that I happened to be free for, that I wasn't really excited about going to do, but it was a very good offer. So it was for one of the freelance companies we work for.
I got the same offer.
It was out in Jacksonville.
Maybe because it was my birthday. Was it on Saturday?
No, it was the Sunday before your birthday.
Okay.
But I think you already had a wedding.
Yeah.
Or something.
It was my daughter's birthday party. We did it on Sunday. Doesn't matter.
Anyways.
Continue.
Thank you for not being available so I could do it.
I would have done it regardless, but...
Yeah, it was in Jacksonville, but it was actually like north of Jacksonville.
That's
like
Georgia.
20 minutes. Oh, almost. It was like you had to go through the city, and then it was
Bortles.
on St. George's Island or something. I don't know. It was at the Ribault Club, which I'd never been there. It was literally the middle of nowhere. Like, as I was at the wedding, the planner was like, when you leave here, I need you to put your high beams on. I need you to go really slow because there's all sorts of wildlife out here. And I was like, okay, sure.
Thanks, lady.
She was rattling off all the creatures that she sees leaving these jobs because, she's like last one out. So it's like 2 a.m. But yeah, it ended kind of early. So my drive back, like I still was home by midnight. It wasn't like... even though it was 2.5 hours. But because it was last minute, it was like bonus pay. And I was very generously tipped. So I
Bingo.
was
I believe the
very
other
happy.
photographer had a death in the family.
Yes. So she had...
At least that's the lie that I was told.
No, well, she did. She had a death in the family and didn't know for sure, like, when she would be needed to be with family, if she could make it or not. But the owner of the company was... her water had already broken and she was about to deliver a baby. And she didn't want to have to be making phone calls to the bride in the middle of that. So she kind of called it early and like forced the other photographer's hand, which she tries not to do. Like she doesn't want to, but it was literally a very unique situation.
Probably smart.
So yeah, so it worked out fine. I was a little apprehensive going into it because once I agreed, the photo list was like everything that I don't do. It was like the blurred out pictures, like the blurry motion photos of the couple while they're standing still. And like just a ton of things that are super trendy right now that I don't normally do. But it was fine. The couple was really nice. And
It's always, you never know what you're going to get when you're walking into a wedding that you showed up last minute for.
yes. And they were like super kind, especially because that other photographer had done their engagement photos too. So, you know, they had a little bit more of a relationship. Sometimes we were walking in and they've never met anyone from our company. They've only talked to the owner on the phone. So it's not that big of a deal. But yeah, they were like, just, oh, thank you so much for being here. And like all the family was really nice. And it was a big, big wedding party.
You really have to bring it, like, not bring it in photo wise, but I always say like your act. You really have to.
Oh, yeah.
You got to sell yourself. You have to project confidence.
Super confidence, yeah. And since I'd never been there, I went early and like hunted out the planner before I went to see any of the couple or family or anyone.
Yeah.
And I was like, hey, I've never been here. Or at least I don't think so. Can you please show me around? And she like gave me a tour of the whole space and told me like where things normally happen.
I like when coordinators do that a lot.
Like what popular spaces are for certain things. And that was a big help. And then that way I could go to the bride when I first saw her and like she's still doing hair and makeup and I could be like, oh, so I was thinking, do you like this spot for first look? You know, and
you can even say like, normally when we shoot here, we've done it here. I'm willing to go anywhere, but traditionally like people like it right here. And she's like, oh yeah, I love it here. So you're like,
yes, yes. Oh, another one, she wanted a picture of her dress outside, which when I'm shooting with someone else, that's fine. But when I'm by myself, I can't maneuver all my gear, plus the wedding dress, plus hanging it up outside in grass, you know, like over top of grass. Yeah. And she's like, oh, no, like, I have my bridesmaid. She's going to do it with you. And I was like, oh, thank goodness. So it was just a lot of things like I wouldn't normally do when I'm shooting by myself. But, you know, we made it happen. And it was great.
Bing, bang, boom.
Yep.
Good job.
And then I had a naturalization ceremony. And this one was different because they are doubling up on the ceremonies. Well, they're not going to be having one in October. But they're doubling up on the number of people going through the ceremonies. So we had 100 people that became citizens, and like 92 of them came and did pictures with me. So that was a lot. I had one of our colleagues, Emily, with me so she could be my photo assistant. Normally, the courtroom staff or like the courthouse staff will help me. And they were like, we are not going to be able to help. There's too much going on. And then I had another wedding. Okay, have you ever been to Bella Vista? It is a Rosen property.
You know the answer is probably, but do I remember?
Okay, so it's across the street from Sofritos on Palm Parkway. Exactly.
Okay, so
exactly.
no.
Okay.
Like the hotel?
Yes.
No, I thought that was abandoned for the longest time.
I know. So you go in there and like they shouldn't. It's a very loose Rosen property. Like it's in the name, like Bella Vista, a Rosen hotel.
Okay.
But then, or a Rosen venue or something like that. But then literally when you get there, Bella Vista is not on anything. There's no signage. There's no nothing. So I couldn't find it. And the the guard gate guy, who's like, oh, you're going to be in that building. And I'm looking at it and I'm like, is he sure? Like, is this a maintenance building?
Was a reception at Olive Garden?
The crazy thing is I had looked it up online and the pictures that Bella Vista chose to put on their website, I think people were using the Sofrito like strip mall as the background for wedding party pictures because I could see strip mall signs.
I do like Sofritos.
The other thing is the ceremony is at the back of the hotel. They call it Spring View, but it's just like a retention pond with a fountain. And then what's beyond the fountain? I-4. And then Mary Queen of the Universe Shrine. Like, that's the direct view. So
I like it.
And the couple was very sweet. And they had no wedding party or like one each. Like, it was super small. So that just meant I had like tons of time. And plus I get there early. So I probably had like 40 minutes of newlywed time before the ceremony started. And I was like,
we have nowhere to go.
I don't know what to do with you.
I have one view. Because
I had to like angle along I-4 and not into I-4, but like lighting wise, I wanted to shoot into I-4. It was bizarre. But the catering staff was especially like, I don't know. I know they've done weddings, but they did not really know what was going on.
Yikes.
Yeah. So,
All right.
I mean, I think everything turned out fine and it looked good, but I don't think it was a very good experience. So,
I mean, you just got to know that area and be like, that's not a wedding. It's barely a hotel.
I know.
For the longest time, those buildings were like abandoned. I remember they had broken windows, boarded up. Okay. You know, if you're looking at that hotel to the left, that strip mall that's to the left, that your back is still to Sofritos, but to the left, that used to be a CC's Pizza right there on the corner. And that's a CC's we would go to after working like a 12-hour rock and roller coaster shift.
Good
And
old times.
eat our body weight in shitty pizza.
Well, what did you do this week?
I did, if you remember, was it last week? I did a late night headshot at Epcot. Well, I did another one because there were multiple sessions to make sure. And the same thing happened where we had 8 to 12 people signed up all the way to 2 a.m. and 4 people showed up.
I mean, who wants their picture taken at that hour of night?
Exactly. Again, so many people were probably like, yeah, okay. And they were sweaty. They just, these are managers, but they're still like in the trenches managers. They're walking around, getting the park clear. It was hot, even though it was, 10 o'clock at night. So we just sat around and talked about nothing and did nothing and took a couple of photos.
Nice.
So that was great. And then I actually did an assist of a group photo. And for the life of me, I can't tell you what the group photo was. I'm literally trying to rack my brain. Yeah, I don't know. It was a group photo of something.
Speaking of group photo, are you going to weasel your way onto the Zootopia group photo for the cast opening?
I'm already on it. Don't you worry. You know that's my tradition.
This is like Jacob's favorite thing to do is opening team photos.
The problem is, the reason I used to do them is because I would always get on the rides early. Like Galaxy's Edge, when you did the Rise of Resistance group photo, we got to then ride it. This was before it was even finished. We had to sign basically an NDA. Cameras and bags the phones put in those like sealed bags with security. So I think of all the rides, Mine Train, Little Mermaid, all the rides since like 2012 I've got to go on even before cast previews because of the group photo. That's part of the, so I did get on Zootopia, but I will have already been on Zootopia.
Oh, before
because the cast photo is like the 5th. What day does it open? The 7th?
It opens the 7th.
So I think the cast photo's on the 5th, but cast member previews start the 30th. I'm going on the 1st of November. You're going on 31st. So,
it's fine. It's fine.
But you got to keep it up. So when, Encanto opens and Indiana Jones opens and, all the other stuff. First in line. And then it was my birthday this week-ish. But yeah.
I mean, we all know that we recorded before you see it, obviously, so.
But it is my birthday, yes. So I turned 34. And we had...
He did not.
Shut up. We had a perfect day of board games and tacos. That's all I wanted. We played... I was like... my mom and my aunt were in town. The kids, I had a couple friends come over, and they could come, and I was like, you can stay as long as you want. You don't have to play every game, but I will be playing every game. And so we had...
The perfect Jacob day.
Yeah, we had some 2-player games, 3-player games, 5-player games, 3-player games, all the way from about, 9 a.m. to about 11 p.m.
Oh my gosh.
And my wife got this place called Gringos Locos here in Tacos. They're not necessarily... They're kind of drunk tacos, but if you get them catering, they give you everything and you get to build your own, which is kind of normal. But for whatever reason, whatever I like to make is way better than what they serve. So I've always loved it. So catering for 10 people, for 4 of us, 6 of us, when I had leftovers I will have leftovers for weeks. They have hard shells, flour tortillas, every meat, every... So tacos and board games. That was my birthday.
Hooray.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, so speaking of spooky season, What's your Halloween decorations look like at your house?
I love Christmas.
Yes.
I don't really decorate for anything else. I have very sad Halloween decorations. I
can tell.
I have a wreath that goes up on my front door. Here's the thing.
Oh, here we go.
Here's the thing. I don't have kids, right? And I lived in an apartment for so many years where we didn't have kids that lived in our building. And I almost always was working on Halloween. So it was kind of just like not a thing. It just came and went. So we've been in our house 3 years now. And the first year I was like, oh crap, we have to celebrate Halloween. Like we're going to have kids coming to the house. So I've made like a very meager attempt. So I have a wreath that has like fall colors and pumpkins on it. And then I have 2 little pumpkins that sit at my front door, which you probably saw on your way in.
Yeah. I just kicked them out of the way.
One little cute white pumpkin and then a teal pumpkin, which the teal pumpkin is supposed to signify like when people are trick-or-treating that you have alternatives in case there are allergies or things like that. So that's all I have.
Well, I mean, I'm the same. I've always been a big Christmas guy, but, we moved into our house 2022, so 3 years ago. Before that, we had a townhouse, so it's kind of the same thing where we didn't have a ton of, we were in the middle of a row, so we didn't have like a ton of space. So ever since I got this house, I've become that dad. And I love decorating outside. Crystal handles the inside, and we're pretty decorated inside. We have like a raven skeleton. We have a bat skeleton that hangs above the TV. We have lots of fall photos, and we actually just found this when we were at the Newfound Glory concert. Hashtag shout out last episode. But Disney had this art piece that was a bride getting ready in her room, and it was a Haunted Mansion bride. But what I love about things, it's what I call if you know, you know. Nothing about it says Haunted Mansion, but the bridesmaid or the whoever is helped budding up is wearing the female Haunted Mansion costume. No name tag, just like she's down there like bustling it up. And then like in the back, half cut out is like the cat lady portrait from the Haunted Mansion. So again, it's all these little things that like, you're just like, oh, this is a spooky photo. Well, we took it, we framed it, put it on the wall for Halloween only.
Very cool.
That's stuff we like. It's very, I don't know, I'd say Gilmore Girls fall in our house, but outside
Cozy.
it's spooktacular. I
do believe this was part of your birthday present.
It
was
was.
It not?
So I did get this giant, it's 10 feet tall, 9 feet tall of a pirate ship with an animatronic skeleton that slowly, it's very much like Pirates of the Caribbean. It looks kind of like that. And we have a porch that's up above. You have to take a few steps onto our porch. So he sits up there. And I have 10 LED lights that are about this big that I can control with my phone. And then I have about 7 to 8 different spotlights that can do different flashes and colors. And then I have a bunch of Christmas orange, purple lights, Halloween lights. I have 6 pumpkins that light up. I have multiple skeletons. I have fog machines.
Oh my gosh.
But I don't use everything every year. I mix it up.
Okay.
Because this is the first year I got the pirate ship. So he sits up there and he's kind of turned so it's like coming out in there. And you'll see the video. I'll post the video in this clip. And he's lit, so I have blue lights underneath it that kind of like pulse. So it's like in water.
Like water.
He's moving. He has some up lighting. And then I put a strobe above it. So when it's dark, there's just a lightning flash on him. Then every night, I put on my iPad and I connect to a JBL portable waterproof speaker that I put out there. I found a YouTube channel that does 12 hours of creepy boat, like creaking and thunderstorm music. Literally. And I put that on every night. So it's just this like rain, right? And then I have some lights in the front as well. And usually I do gravestones with lights, but I didn't this year because, again,
Are they funny gravestones like Haunted Mansion, or are they
No,
like,
they're just kind of spooky.
generic?
They sell the Haunted Mansion gravestones this year at Home Depot.
Oh, really?
And I was like, yes. Like the actual like Wendell, Here Lies Fred. $60 a pop for just...
For just like a styrofoam.
It's plastic,
Okay.
but still. You're paying for...
I think you came in the other direction today, but if you went out the other direction from my street to get out to the main road, there's one house that it's literally just gravestones.
I saw that one.
But like
they have skeletons.
60 of them.
Yeah.
Like the whole thing. They've got them all like bolted. They're all like strapped down and together and locked together to one another. And then around the corner is the house that always has like the 12-foot skeleton. This year it's like the spaghetti monster theme.
Nice.
Last year was last year pirates?
And I have the fog machine with a timer, but I save that for Halloween because if I did that every night, I'd be going through fog juice. Mm-hmm. But so I'll have it. I have two machines. One will be in the ship, and one will be kind of underneath it, where the line is of plants that I have there, flowers, bushes, and so it'll kind of come through the bush. So it look like it'll be riding on fog, and once it hits those LED lights.
So do you guys sit out and like wait for trick-or-treaters, or do you just...
No, because we have kids, so we trick-or-treat. So we put out a table on our porch on the walk-up side, and then we usually put like another skeleton there who's handing out candy. And since we have a daughter that has allergies, Crystal's always big about making an allergy-friendly pile too of candies. Since we have a daughter that can have nuts, we have an allergy-friendly one.
Yeah. I think this year, because in the morning we're going to be going to Zootopia, so we'll be at Animal Kingdom for the first half of the day, and then I think we're just going to try sitting outside this year, because we'll sometimes like hear the kids walking by, and a lot of our other neighbors just sit out on the driveway to give out candy.
I want to be that guy. I don't want to walk anywhere. My kids are getting old enough now that they may start either not going or trick-or-treating with friends.
Groups of friends.
Or they'll go somewhere, they'll go to their friends maybe. And if that's the case, then I'll be the old guy sitting on my porch with my skeletons. I still don't want to trick-or-treat. I don't like the knocking on the doors just as a trick-or-treater or as a giver. I like when it's on a table. A lot of people in our neighborhood too, like they'll just put it on the table and like not even be out there. But most people will at least sit out there, so there's some sort of action. But the whole knocking on the door thing, you never know anymore. You're always like, no, don't knock.
Yeah.
And then they knock and like they have their lights on, like the porch light on. You knock and they're like, what is this?
Yeah, and I think that's maybe the vibe our house gives off a little bit, because our lights are motion detected, so sometimes. Like, it looks like, oh, it just turned on because we walked by, not because they're waiting for us. So I think we're going to, especially if it's nice out still, we'll just sit out front and pass out candy. So I guess I should. Oh, no, we did buy candy. We bought it from Costco.
I already have a bunch. I have 2 bags of candy.
Giant big bag.
And I don't want to get too ahead of myself, but my LED lights that I have, they also have this feature on my app that I control all of them. I can literally control them right now, where they possibly can the app can hear music or whatever, and they'll dance. So for Christmas, I'm going to do some tests here in a little bit inside where I can see like, what did I actually do here?
I have the Govee lights for my Christmas tree, so...
This is just outside. Inside is a whole nother ball game.
Yeah.
But I do outside, Crystal does inside.
Well, so up until last year, I had been using, is that just wind, or do you have a wind machine?
No, it's just wind.
Okay. It looks really good. But yeah, up until last year, I was using Christmas lights from like leftovers from my parents from I don't even know how many decades ago. And then last year they finally they gave up. So I got a set of Govee lights, but they can do the same thing. You can like set them to do a certain pattern, whatever colors you want, whatever color patterns, but then you can also let them go to music. So I kind of want that. They have outside ones too. I kind of want them.
I'm on a corner lot, as you know, and I really don't use it yet. So I really want to start.
Oh yeah, you could do a lot.
Yeah, but they're expensive, so it takes years. Like every year I add one thing or like a new set of lights. So it takes a long time. But
all right, well,
we did it.
Go and drive around Orlando and look. Try to find Jacob's house.
Please don't come to my house. See, 4th time's not funny.
Not funny.
Only works
I was ready.
Bye.
Bye.
Happy spooky season.